Master Taviri was one of the least known but most respected tradesmen in all of Lisdor. Master Taviri could procure the most rarest of items: purple leaf pipeweed, bulberry, ocean shell dye, even moon nut spice. All the courts, noble houses, and collectors knew the name of Master Taviri. Master Taviri would venture far and wide to explore the world. He was fascinated by cultures, languages, foods, religions, and magic. He was highly regarded among the elves and halflings and often visited their towns and villages. He became close friends with the elven Druid order. It was this relationship that would offer him help at his most desperate hour. Lady Taviri, Master Taviri's lovely wife, passed during childbirth of his only son, Cai. Master Taviri was saddened and grief-stricken, sought the aid of the elven Druids. The Druids would provide a home for Master Taviri and help raise his son as their own. Cai was the only human among the elven Druid order, but was accepted as one of their own. He learned about the amazing natural world around him. The Druid taught him about the animals, natural healing, and secret Druid magic. When Cai was old enough, he began traveling with his father, Master Taviri, throughout the world. He met many peoples, saw amazing places, and learned about the history and the culture of the world around him. He also learned his father's most valuable attribute: relationships. On one particular journey, Master Taviri was hired to obtain a very rare bottle of champagne from the Wizards of Wines. This particular bottle of wine was his father's most difficult procurements, for it required a dangerous journey to a far-off land his father had never visited. His father contacted his friends, the Vistani, gypsies of Barovia, and hired them as guides to the region of Barovia and to the town of Kresic. The Vistani delivered a letter to Cai from his father. It stated that he was staying in the village of Kresic and had negotiated for a single bottle and would return soon. The letter also told of a welcoming family and owners of the winery, the Martikov, who had been friends with the Druid order that raised Cai. He shared that the Martikov's land had been under a curse, and they had lost a rare magic gem that blessed their vineyards. Father promised to return and aid the Martikovs in finding this rare magic gem after he delivered the bottle to his client. He stated that Barovia seemed to be a dreary place, and he was looking forward to returning home and seeing Cai. The letter was the last Cai heard from his father. Months had passed, and Cai reached out to the Druid order and asked them about the Martikov family and shared with them his father's letter. The Druid order said that they were indeed friends with the Martikov family, and they had a pact with the Druid order. However, it had been decades since they had heard from the Martikov family. A Druid had attempted to visit the Martikov family some years ago, but never returned. As per Barovia, it is said to be a cursed land, and since the last attempt to reach the Martikov family ended with one of their own lost, and any search revealing nothing, they regret to say, with heavy heart, that they fear that what has befallen on the Martikov family, the curse of the land, and their Druid may have befallen Cai's father. When Cai asked about the rare magic gem, the Druid shared with them the myth they learned from the Martikov's family. The gem was one of 3 magic gems, gifted by the 3 Fays of Barovia, ancient gods from long ago. The Fae of the mountain, the Fae of the forest, and the Fae of the wetlands each had a shrine where the peoples of Barovia would make offerings during the winter and summer solstice for hopes of bountiful harvest in the spring and warm, safe nights in the winter. The 3 Fae were grateful to the peoples and bestowed upon them 3 gems, one from each fae. One of the gems, the blue gem, was gifted to the ancestors of the Markov family to bless their winery, which it did, and provide a bountiful yield and the best wines in all the land. The myth goes on and says a dark force swept over the land, desecrated the shrines, and cursed the three fays into ugly hags. The curse of Barovia and the fays can only be lifted if the three gems are found and the ceremonies performed at each of their shrines. Of course, this is a myth from the ancient times, and while true, the Martikov claim they had a magic gem that was extremely valuable. Whether it was the gem of one of the fays, or if the myth is even true, is something the Druids are unsure of, as it is a myth of Barovia, and much of Barovia's history is shrouded in myth. Cai would not give up searching for his father. He contacted the Verstani. He was going to go to Barovia, to the town of Kresik, and find his father. The Verstani agreed to meet Cai and help him find his father. Cai packed his things and said farewell to the Druid order. The Druids gifted Cai the rare moon owl, who would travel with Cai and come to him at night and aid him in his quest. That night, Cai had a dream of an elderly woman. She whispered to him, "Find the gem. Find the gem." When Cai awoke the next morning, he found a card on his chest. The diviner. Cai mounted his horse and rode off towards the town of Wormwood. On the edge of town was an inn, the Bear Bow Inn, where Cai was to meet with the Verstani that would guide him to Kresik. Welcome to the Legends of Barovia. Your quest